Hey guys, it's Jack. This is going to be a little bit more of an interesting video. I'll try to make it short. We are going to do a second video either today or tomorrow with another system like we usually do for Fridays. But I did a short earlier and I didn't think I had enough time to really talk since those are just 1 minute. Interesting. So if you didn't see the short, our buddy Donny from Black Chip Baccarat channel, you mostly know Donny, almost everybody, did a series of 2 videos over the last week. I think another one came out yesterday or today, doing a deep dive into the shuffle master that's used for Baccarat in the brick and mortar casinos. And, it's nothing new, but most of us that play lots of shoes, not just on a vacation or on a cruise or whatever it may be, have noticed, if you're a pro player, if you're somebody that takes this game seriously, that the shoes over the last few years don't look anything like the shoes that were recorded years ago in books like this, okay? This book has 72 days at the Baccarat table, 45,000 decisions. This is not a cheap book. You can still find it. Members of Cruise Casino Mafia do have pre-recorded shoes available to them in the other docs section. So the reason for the video is that Donny and several other people, including myself, it's very obvious when you do testing on lots and lots of systems that the shoes don't quite look the same. And one of the biggest things that I would say to you is, if you look in that book and other books like that, or any kind of pre-recorded shoes from years ago, you're going to see that the streaks last much longer. There's a lot more banker streaks and player streaks and banker streaks. And in the shoes that we're seeing live, it's not that there's no 5 in a row, 6 in a row, 8 in a row, even 10 in a row, but they're much less prevalent than they were before these shuffle masters. And definitely watch Donny's latest video on that. He goes into a little bit more detail as to why. But I guess what I want my crowd to understand is that there's obviously something going on. There's no doubt about it. He's totally correct. There's no reason that anybody would pay $100,000 for a shuffle machine if you could have guys, in the back shuffling for $20 an hour or whatever it may be. Those shuffle machines are definitely doing something else. They're doing some type of a preset. They're doing something. But with that knowledge, what does that really mean? That's really what my question is after watching Donny's video and other people that have made these assumptions. We know there's a difference, right? We know there's a difference in the shoes. So what does that mean to us as actual players or system creators or methodology creators or whatever you want to say? I'm not sure I have an answer to that today, but I will tell you that one of the reasons we've still had success, and I'm talking about our private systems as well as the stuff we've been showing you guys over the last 6 months for free on this channel, especially in the last month or so. I think what it comes down to, and this is not a final evaluation here, this is just a statement initially, is that I think instead of trying to always find the bet selection that's the holy grail, and you guys have heard me say this, I think it makes it even more important to continue down the line that we've been doing over the last couple of months, which is realizing that there is a randomness in the shoes. So instead of determining that there's a set pattern that we have to follow, I think the focus needs to be, if you're going to be a long-term consistent winner, is to be, number one, is to have more than one bet selection available to you, like I've been talking about. That means you need to have multiple tools for bet selection to play Baccarat. Not one. There's no one that's going to beat every shoe, and that's a fact, okay? You guys already know that. So it's a matter of being able to be flexible and have bet selections that you've already tested and understand, okay? Now, let's get a little deeper into that just for a moment. I think certain bet selections that may have been used years ago may not work as well as they do now with these shuffle masters, with the algorithm or whatever they're using, okay? What does that mean? I think there's a lot more testing that's going to go into my answer on this. But I would certainly say to you that some of the things that our people are using that I've shown, the reason they're working is because they are not sticking to one scenario. It's not a streak system. It's not simply a chop system. It's something that's built on a different type of methodology, and it's a lot more fluid, okay? We'll talk more about that as we do more research and more evaluation. But some of the things we've been showing are still working really, really well because they're short term. We're not looking to follow some type of pattern for the next 10 results or anything like that. It's a more fluid, more active bet selection. I would say that. Would I say that streak-based systems don't work anymore? Maybe, but I think it's a little too early to make that statement. I think that things like we've shown on the channel a little while back that people are still having huge success with, that SOS thing that I showed, 2 months ago, whatever, people are constantly telling us that that's still working really, really well. The system that we showed for free the other day, based on the Terrible 2 type system, that's still working really, really well. And we're going to do some more stuff with that. So there are things that are still working. There are things that we're still testing. And for our private members, we have a bevy of different systems that we give to them so that they can determine what's working best and what they want to put in their toolbox for a bet selection. So I'm going to finish the video with one other thought. And you guys hear me say this all the time, but I think I'm going to put it in the parameters of this discussion with these shuffle masters. Well, I was never a fan, as you guys know, for deep progressions, things that are martingale-esque that just scale out of control. I think it's even more important now to evaluate those things even more. So if you are still using some deep, volatile, extended progression, and you're using it for Baccarat, I think you're in trouble. Now, I always thought you were in trouble because we know that martingale is the Russian roulette of money management. But I'm going to tell you, based on the shuffle master situation, it's even more, okay? And that's the reason why we've also been getting so much success from our members and my own play based on things that are closer to flat betting. That doesn't mean they're all flat betting. I'm not telling you flat betting is the only thing. What I'm saying to you is more conservative money management style, whatever that may be. We have a lot of different things in our private area. We've also shown multiple things over the last couple of months here. That is even more of a reason to stick to something that's closer to zero, meaning that you're not straying away from getting back to zero as quickly as possible. Is that straight flat betting? Is that what we've been using on this channel lately, the 3-bet scenario? Is that some type of a limited progression, a 2-1-2, a 1-2-3, a 1-2-4, something like that? Yeah, I think it is. I think that it's even more important for people that are still stuck on this ridiculous fallacy that keeps popping back every generation of gamblers, thinking that martingale is the holy grail. I think this generation is going to get killed even worse, if that's possible. So that's up to you to make your own decisions and test, as we always say. I'm not telling you what to do. I can't tell you what to do with your money. But this video basically just wanted a heads up that we are also aware of the shuffle master change to what these shoes look like. And that's the reason behind the scenes that evaluations and system evaluations and methodologies need to be even more scrutinized, not just based on computer generation, which is very important because you can get a lot of results, thousands and thousands of results, But it's also important to test against live shoes in the casino, whether that's Vegas or Biloxi or Hard Rock in South Florida or the Indian casinos, whatever it may be. Okay, whatever it is, they're all using some level of shuffle masters at this point. So that's this quick video. Be aware of it. Be aware that if you feel that you're testing and then when you play live, something is changing, there probably is a reason for that. So we'll have more on this. I highly suggest you also watch Donny's videos, and hopefully he'll have more of those with some other evaluations that he's making. And remember, this is a community, guys, like I always say. We're all in this, whether some channels believe it or not, and have some crazy ego problem. We're all trying to do the same thing. We're trying to develop ways of pulling out money from an asset class that we call the casino. So I'm watching, they're watching, you should be watching, and together, maybe we can figure out the answers and continue to elevate our game to be able to fine-tune, because remember, it's just like the NFL. Remember what's going on here. Every time that an offensive coordinator creates another type of play or a wrinkle in their formation, that means that the defensive coordinator on the other side has to evaluate that new offensive play call and come up with answers on a defensive scheme. We're exactly the same. We're no different. We're playing football, okay? They're in control of the ball game, but we have to play defense on a regular basis. So I hope you guys got something out of this. I know there's no final resolution, but I want you to be aware of the conversation taking place in our community. And I will do another video for those that don't want to hear me talk. You could have just skipped through the video. We will have another game or demo video coming up real soon, but I thought that this was an important enough topic to discuss, and we'll see you on the next video. Have a great day. Have a great weekend.